What is up, my autistic vlog fans? Today, um, I decided to do another history video for today. Um, today in this video, we will be learning the history of Toys R Us. Now, I know I did some Toys R Us videos in the past few years, but this time we're taking it a little deeper in Toys R Us history. Yeah. So without further ado, viewers, get your popcorn, get your drinks, and let's get on with this history of Toys R Us. Alright. In April 1948, Charles P. Lazarus found a baby furniture retailer, Children's Supermart, in Washington, D.C. During the post-war baby boom, the store sites at 2461 18th Street. NW later became Madam's Oregon Blues Bar. The store was acquired in 1966 by Interstate Department Stores, Inc. The focus of the store changed in June 1957, and the first Toys R Us dedicated exclusively to toys retail rather than furniture, was opened by Lazarus in Rockville, Maryland. Lazarus also designed and styled the Toys R Us logo, which featured a backwards R to give the impression and that a child wrote it. The store chain grew successfully and built a brand which was recognizable to many children born from the 1960s to the 1990s, and it shared in the success of the birth of popular culture, success of action figures, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, dolls, Cabbage Patch Kids, Rainbow Bright, video games, Nintendo Super Mario series, and other CO developed names. Original Sega Genius stations and titles. And ultimately, the CO brand FAO series as the higher end FAO Schwartz stores folded. In July 1996, Toys R Us introduced a new store format concept 2000, where stores found blue facades with yellow lined windows. The first store with this format was in Raritan, New Jersey. 21st century. The board of directors installed John Elier as CEO formerly of FAO Schwartz in May 2000. Elier launched a plan to remodel and relaunch the chain, blaming market pressures from Walmart and Target. Toys R Us considered splitting its toy and baby business on March 17, 2005. A consortium of Bain Capital Partners LLC, Kravis Roberts, and Fernando Realty Trust announced a $6.6 billion leverage buyout of the company. Public stock closed for the last time on July 21st, 2005 at $26.75, a 63% increase since it was first announced that the company was put up for sale. Toys R Us became a privately owned entity after the buyout. The company still follows with the same with the exchange commission as required by its debt agreements. Toys R Us announced plans for an IPO on May 28, 2010, but canceled them on March 29, 2013, citing market conditions. In December 2013, 8 days before Christmas, Toys R Us announced their stores in the United States would stay open for 87 hours straight. The flagship store of the retailer in Times Square was open for 24 hours a day from December 1st to 24th to cater to tourists. The announcement came after snow and rain caused a nearly 9% year-over-year decline in U.S. store foot traffic. This move also pushed the retailer to hire an additional 45,000 seasonal workers to cater to the demand of the extended store hours. Since the toy business is highly seasonal, more than 40% of the company's sales came in during the last quarter of the year. In 2014, Toys R Us announced its TRU transformation strategy, which consent I don't know how you pronounce on efforts to fix foundational issues affecting future growth, including making store less cluttered, improving the customer experience, cleaner pricing strategies and promotions, and tighter integration of its retail and online business. In 2015, the company launched the first of a new concept store called the Toy Lab in Freehold, New Jersey. The new layout provided more space for interaction, exhibits, and areas to play with new toys before purchase. This concept has been expanded to stores in California, Delaware, Florida, New York, and Pennsylvania. Now viewers going with the bankruptcy. Oh, there we go. There we go. On September 18, 2017, Toys R Us Inc. filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, stating the move would give it flexibility to deal with $5 billion in long-term debt by borrowing $2 billion to pay suppliers for the upcoming holiday season and invest in operations. The company has not had an annual profit since 2013. It reported a net loss of $164 million in the quarter ending of April 29, 2017. It lost $126 million in the same period in the prior year. It had been paying $400 million per year to serve its debt, which prevented it from investing in improvements to in-store experience to complete with Amazon and Walmart. Although the retail was a factor, some analysts cited that the rapid increase in debt occurred under its private equity ownership. The company was reported to have a total workforce of 64,000 in September 2017. It was stated that only the US and Canadian operators will be affected, and that is brick and mortar stores and online sales sites would continue to operate. In January 2018, the company announced it would liquidate and close up to 182 of the stores in the US as part of its restructuring, as well as convert up to 12 stores into CO brand Toys R Us and Babies R Us stores. On February 28, 2018, it was reported that the company was exploring retaining its stronger Canadian operations and the divestiture of some of its corporate-owned stores to franchise, leaving approximately 200 in a downsized chain. Toys R Us Inc. later announced that all U.S. locations would be closed. On March 15, 2018, Toys R Us received approval from the bankruptcy court to liquidate its stores. There are buyers interested in groups of stores to use as showrooms, as well as others interested in acquiring the chain brand and associated intellectual property. The company indicated it in filings that the Canadian operations were profitable and desired to preserve the operations of the 82-store chain through a sale. MGA Entertainment had made an offer to acquire the Canadian operations. MGA Entertainment CEO Isaac Lorraine attempt to raise $200 million through investments in public crowdfunding to purchase at least 400 of the U.S. locations. Liquidation sales began on March 23, 2018. The chain's online stores shut down on March 29th. Redirecting visitors to information on the liquidation and closures. On April 24, 2018, it was announced that the Canadian division will be sold to Fairfax Financial for approximately $234 million and will continue to operate the locations under the Toys R Us name. Fairfax stated that it was potentially interested in purchasing U.S. locations as an extension of these Canadian operations. On April 13th, a bid was made by Isaac Larian to buy 356 Toys R Us stores for $890 million, but was rejected on April 17th and was fully scrapped on April 23rd. On June 29, 2018, Toys R Us permanently closed all of its remaining U.S. locations after 70 years of operations. In early July 2018, it was reported that unknown benefactors bought all of the remaining stock of 2 locations in North Carolina so they could be donated to charity. In November 2018, Fortune noticed that the absence of the retailer during the 2018 holiday season represented a U.S. $4 billion chunk of toy sales from which other retailers could benefit. Party Subly, Party Supply Retailer, Party City, capitalize on the closures by establishing temporary pop-up stores under the branding Toy City, some of which filed vacations left by Toys R Us locations. Well, viewers, I think that's pretty much it. Like, this is the best I can do, really. That's pretty much it. The main party I do want to focus is history and stuff. So yeah. I'm sorry it kind of took a little long, viewers. I was trying to pronounce some stuff. It took me a while for me to pronounce. So I'm sorry to make you guys all bored. I know. It's what I might do this from now going forward. I don't know. Might do some vlogs a little bit later, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks so much for watching, and see you then. Bye bye.